It's good when you speak that you actually have a earphone or you're not on mute. That was on a while ago. I just want to thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me this evening on Talk and Sip Saturday night. And for those on Instagram, Jacqueline, as I can see you, I have to direct you over onto YouTube. Don't keep it on too much. But for the persons on TikTok, because that's a different sort of feel, also join me over on TikTok as Instagram as well. And for those on Facebook, welcome as well. Facebook and YouTube, you can see the full level of interactions. Let me turn this down. Yeah. So I want to welcome you, ladies and gentlemen. This is Saturday night in the UK, 10 p.m. In Jamaica, it's 4 p.m. And in EST, it is 5 p.m. as well. And this is Talk and Sip. And of course, with Talk and Sip, one of the first things I always say to persons all the while is, what are you drinking? It's very important to know what you're drinking, because it's not like a rum bar or anything like that, but we try to make it as very comfortable as possible and very chill. So what you're drinking, you can say what you're drinking. If you're drinking whatever you're drinking, you just tell me what are you drinking. For me, normally I always like to have water. In the early stage, when we embarked on this road, people were drinking different things because it was during the COVID period. During the COVID period, there was so much things happening at that time. So many people were at home. Many people weren't doing much. And we spend our different times being shut down by YouTube. No, by YouTube, by Instagram. Being shut down by Instagram as well, and that was a very interesting bit. And try to have a glass of wine as well. People come with different things. Sometimes they say a good glass of wine keep you healthy as well. Yeah. The the tonight discussion will be very solely, I must say, very solely on the major topic which is going on in Jamaica at present, which is the government salary hike. You know, I say yikes, hike, yikes, because many people are actually um, very concerned about it. But before I go any further, I want to say that over the years, you know, when I came to the UK, one of the things that I made sure is after a while, you know, in my process of studying law, you know, sometimes you can get a bit caught up in the system in the UK and not able to really delve a bit more, like what's happening in Jamaica and the whole land of your birth. So I made sure that I get involved with what's happening in the UK via Jamaica, that is the diaspora, because I wanted to make sure that I'm never far from home. And I always remember my father, my late father, used to say to my mother sometime when I keep abreast with them, and they always said, tell them about what is happening in Jamaica, the different news, and they say, boy, here's the boy know about what go on a yard more than we while we're here. So I kept a very vested interest in Jamaica. And in 2004, when the diaspora was formed, I was part of those initial persons that, with Delano Franklin, getting involved with the diaspora initiative at home, because I always believe that the potency of the Jamaican people, the potency, I'll say that, the potency of the Jamaican people is when there's a strong and an effective partnership with Jamaicans back home. That is the diaspora and Jamaicans overseas, when they come together and they have a strong partnership whereby it is not Jamaicans at home versus Jamaicans abroad. So therefore, there was always a keen, very interest. And I know many persons as well who have that very keen interest. And the reason why I say that is because I always talk about Jamaica, always discussing things. I've got a group which is called Facilitators Better Jamaica, where we spend some time a few years back lobbying the UK government, trying to get a better deal for the airfares, airport passenger duty tax. And we were very forceful with that, to the point where I also had meetings with the British Airways people. And even so, at one time when the Jamaican teachers in the UK were going to be sent back because of this thing called qualified teacher status, whereby the UK government changed some of its regulations, and they had to sort of refine their studies to a certain extent to stay in the UK. And I do recall going down with some guys, and we were demonstrating, and I remember standing outside of the Home Office and with my placard in my hand and say, reach one, reach one. And George Galloway, I don't know if anybody knows George Galloway, if you're familiar with the UK. George Galloway was watching us, and George Galloway said, I like that, his voice, I like that. Each one, reach one. And I said, well, George, actually, it's a evangelistical tune, because when I used to preach in Leicester Square many years ago, you know, that was part of the team. And I say that because of late, when I speak up and when people are speaking up on the issues like what's happening back home in Jamaica, because you're very concerned and you're passionate, it's more than just remittance. You got persons that are saying, no, you shouldn't say anything. You're there foreign. You know, you have no interest back home. Why you take up your grip and you're gone? I have people here in the UK who are saying that, you know, sometimes you guys are, you know, maybe some people do try to tell Jamaicans what to do. But I think sometimes one has got to qualify the whole thing by saying it's not telling Jamaica what to do, but it is actually showing a level of empathy with what is happening back home. And I believe it's very strong that Jamaicans overseas, as much as possible, play an active role in Jamaica, not just with the remittance. I know of guys who are actually, they go to Jamaica even more than me. They've actually from the UK, live in the UK, but their parents are from Jamaica and they buy houses in Jamaica, building houses in Jamaica, travel to Jamaica regular, and some of them even want to get their passports. And if you recall, I've been on this case for a while talking about the Jamaican passport situation, whereby Pika came here recently in October and promised a premium special for Jamaicans, and unfortunately, some of them are still without that level of service. But well, one of the things that I pick up on why some of them are really upset by it is not just getting their passport, but it is because they wanted to go down to Jamaica and to do business. You know, at Delano Seabright last week talking about people want to do business in Jamaica, encouraging the diaspora to get involved and to do business. So therefore, you got persons who were very keen and are very keen on doing business with them yard. Because at the end of the day, some people have the view that if anything happened in the UK and they're going to kick us out or whatever like that, the best place to go to is Jamaica or Africa. Jamaica or Africa. Therefore, we have got to build those foundations. That is why the Jews build their foundation of Israel. The Asians build their foundations. China, those Chinese, they build their things that whenever the Chinese diplomats or Chinese guys come to Jamaica, the Chinese people can complain and say we are being robbed, and the Chinese government say, hey, what's going on? Because they set their base. India becoming a massive superpower as well. So we got to shape up, and most importantly, that we as a people, Jamaicans, for argument's sake, and especially with this whole thing regarding the government salary hike and yikes, and people talking about it, and people are talking about governance, people are talking about Jamaica being a republic. That is so important, and that is so crucial that we have to take a hand of it, because my view is this, and I'm sure many persons have this view as well. Welcome, guys. How are you? Hi, Nick. Hey, Ani, where are you, man? Are you coming on? I got someone here from Passport on. Thank you, Sibon. This is my current situation, and their treatment is unacceptable. I've been prohibited from moving forward work plans as a result. There, just as I said it. Someone on Instagram. Please come over onto YouTube, if anything. Someone from UK. Parents are from Jamaica, but born in the UK, but definitely want to do business and want to go to Jamaica to do things. So therefore, we've got to be very careful how we slight sometimes people from the diaspora, because they genuinely want to make a dent. They don't just want the Chinese coming into Jamaica, the Spanish coming into Jamaica, everybody buying up Jamaica. Jamaicans also want to buy up Jamaica, but they want it to have a good flow. They want to have that support base. So I'm appealing again to Pika, and I take this few minutes, appeal to Pika to actually come back again and speak to the Jamaicans over here who have been having problems with getting their passport, because you promised them and you said you're going to get it in 20 to 25 days. Some of them are waiting up to October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. We don't want to sing that song. January, February, March, April, May, June, July. Can you imagine? So as a person who was initially hosting the passport agency, encouraging Jamaicans in the UK to come out, and hey, you can get your passport quickly. There's already silence. So therefore, let's do another town hall meeting, if anything, and speak to the people and apologize. Nothing is wrong with apologizing. I'm trying to say, because you got to do it again, because there's many more Jamaicans want to actually. Yeah. So yeah. So I'm looking forward to have different persons to come on tonight, different persuasion. I like to hear persons giving their views as to the whole discussion regarding the hike salary. Can it be justified? Should the increases be rolled back? Should, as what the leader of opposition says, that it should be, I take it, but I give it to 80% to some charities or some way? Should people do that? Is it taxpayers' money that you're going to be giving to different persons for different things? You know, should the and what about this 9 day wonder? Somebody said to me again. They said, "Where are the people that were demonstrating? There's nobody out there." And I'm saying, hang on a second, maybe that's you. You should have been out there. So, what's going on? So I'm saying that everyone also has to play a part in the whole aspect, and there are many different press releases which have been going out about this. So that is something that I look forward to having some discussion on that. Marlene Grant, you said, I'm one of the Just Be ladies you met last week. I was one of those who applied. Oh wow. Oh wow. Well, there you go. I just said, let me just say this a bit, and therefore there are people now coming out saying, there's some ladies that I met while in my walk and talk motivational moments in the park, which I do most mornings, and people support me and get motivated by that. What she's saying, we never talk about it. She didn't know nothing that I was involved with this. Said I was one of those people who applied for a citizenship passport in October. In October. And still waiting for it. Mr. Winter, come on. Miss Vassal, come on. Let's sort it out, man. We're all good friends, but we want to treat our people better. Well, listen, just want to take this opportunity just to plug tomorrow night, because tomorrow night I'm going to be having going to have advocacy for better public governance. Let me just turn down this music because this is very crucial. I know tomorrow night is a Sunday night, and I know tomorrow night people are getting ready for work, but I'm going to have as a special guest Miss Jeanette Calder. Okay, special guest tomorrow night, Miss Jeanette Calder, and here's her picture here. She's from Jamp. She's from Jamp. She's going to be on tomorrow night, and there she is. Advocacy for better public governance. You can play your part in Jamaica. Jeanette Calder, she's the executive director. JAMP is a Jamaica Accountability Meter Portal. That's tomorrow night at 9 p.m. I'm going to have a sit down with her talking about this. I had Miss Rosalie Hamilton recently. She was from Advocacy Network. Lazing with them, using my platform as a way whereby people can actually tap in and find out what is happening. And with Jamp, she's going to be talking about different ways how people can play a part. Because I know many people want to play a part. I say, how can I be effective? How can I join? What can I do? Where can I go? Those are the sort of things that she's going to be talking about. And because in the UK, for argument's sake, I'm in the UK here. I hope I didn't spoil this here. I'm in the UK here. Hi, Dee. How are you? I'm in the UK here, and there are different ways you can lobby your government. You go to your members of parliament. I can go online and put in my postcode if I forget who's my MP. I know my MP very well because I'm in the chair of my neighborhood watch here, and I'm involved with the different Labour MPs. I'm a conservative. In the UK, they call them Tories. This is the nasty party. But nevertheless, I do engage with the Labour councillors and the Labour member of Parliament. They're my good friends. And therefore, if there's any issues, we go to them and we say, listen, we're not happy. And they will filter that back because there's a level of liaison with your members of Parliament in order to filter that back up. So that's different ways, and you can write letters to your MPs, let them know what your situation is, and therefore there are different ways how you can engage. So tomorrow, Miss Janet Calder, she's going to break that down as much as possible, and we'll have a conversation. So please join tomorrow night. Please join tomorrow night at 9 p.m. UK time, 3 p.m. Yes, Jamaica time, because there's 6 hour difference, and I believe like Vita or so. You are in the States. I think EST is going to be about 4 p.m. I think, and that's supposed to be it. So yeah, so do join us tomorrow night, and I will be continuing pushing this whole thing because the I had and I just need to plug these things because this is very important. It shows how much the diaspora is involved, or I try to get the voices out there because I even had Mr. Mr. Joseph Patterson. Yeah, I was with Mr. Joseph Patterson the other day. Mr. Joseph Patterson passed through the UK, and I quickly found out, and I said, "Listen, yo, Mr. Patterson, let me have a chat with you. Let us talk about what you're talking about. Let us talk about you are saying that you know the best way to be a republic. You got the ultimate type of republic, and then we had that conversation, and therefore it is important that one is able to talk to everyone, talk to all the persons, speak to Delana Steve. Right, I've actually interviewed the prime minister already, interviewed the opposition leaders already, getting their perspective on different things, and I don't know how tonight is going to unfold, but it's very important for the dialogue, you know, because what I find sometimes, and this is very important, you may have someone like Delano Seabright last week was saying some powerful stuff regarding tourism, some powerful stuff regarding Airbnb. One is to be applauded by the work that Ed Bartlett is doing as well. But somebody could be from a PNP angle and say, "Boy, I mean, I listen to him star because sure, a PNP, the JP might be doing something well, but the PNP said, boy, no, the PNP may be doing something well as well, something really good." And then person's going to say, "Boy, I mean, I listen to him star because sure, you know, it don't make no sense because guess what? You know, Silburn, you can post Corey email so people can contact. No, I'm not posting nobody's. I'm not. I'm listen. One thing I'm not going to do, Lester. I'm not going to post anybody's email for anybody to contact anybody with some private things about the passport issue. Picker need to come online back, and Picker need to apologize to Jamaicans to say why. No backdoor dealing. People have been saying to me, contact that person. I'm saying this publicly. No backdoor dealing. Just as how you came to the United Kingdom, just like how you approached the Jamaicans in the UK, just like how you said to them, pay excess amount, pay a premium so you can get your passport in 20-25 days. And now you're talking October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, and asking someone to contact somebody there. It must be mad. No, they need to come back and apologize to Jamaicans in the UK. They need to come back on a town hall meeting and they need to say why. That's my philosophy. We have to be, we have to hold people accountable. No backdoor dealings, no chopping business, no corruption business, no foolishness. We have to be accountable. We have to be accountable. We have to be transparent. Why should people go to Curry? Does Curry work with them? Curry doesn't work with them. Why should people go to the, no, Picker need to deal with it. You know, I'm tired of it. And I tell you why I'm tired of it, because I've got people still calling me. Why they calling me? Because they saw me and they saw my name up there. And they were told that if you follow Silburn will get you, you know, Silburn will direct you to the place. Yeah. So that's why I see it as well. But anyhow, another thing as well, if you want to get shirts, actually, what I've done as well, look at this, ladies and gentlemen. This is awesome. Walk and talk motivational moments. Not that, not that. Look at that. Look at that. We want the right republic. Shirts. I've created shirts. We want the right republic. That is something gonna be happening again. We want the right republic. And you can go to the website, Silburn Show, silburn.co.uk. We want the right republic as well. And if you want the talk and sip shirt, you can get the talk and sip shirt as well. There you go. I got my secret weapon who created all of these things. Should I say her name? I won't say. You know. So there it is as well. So yeah, so many great things happening. And but you know, when I was someone sent me a YouTube clip, And the YouTube clip was of a leader of Jamaica saying some things. The YouTube clip, he said something which resonated, but he's of a party. He's of a different party. And I'm saying, but he's saying some good things. If I share that, will it be deemed to be that I'm aligning myself to a party, or I'm aligning myself to the messenger or to the message? But for the record, I will say that I'm going to align myself to the message in some aspect based on leadership. Because sometimes leaders say things which are very powerful. And what they say resonate powerfully, but it may be lost because the atmosphere is politically charged. I did the flyer even for Miss Gina Calder, when the flyer was done for Miss Calder. But the flyer had a color on it, a color frame on it. And I said, Jamaica's a charge place, and I don't trust that flyer there. And I'm trying to say, so I sent it to her and said, what do you think? And she said, you're right, Silburn. You're really on top of it. You're really on top of it. And we revamped the flyer because of some color dynamism which was in it. Because the person who created it never thought that way. But I have to think that way because of how we know how our people. But we got to move away from that. So I'm going to play this. I'm going to play this video. I'm going to play it. And I want you to listen to, where is it? Listen to the words. Listen to the words when they come on to leadership. How do I play it now? If I can find it.
Is for the role of leadership. First of all, the leadership of socialism must walk in humility. Humility must be humble, must be humble, must always be humble. There is no place for arrogance in the party that I lead. And anybody that is arrogant over the people must get out of leadership. The only one that is fit to lead is the one that walks hand in hand, shoulder to shoulder, equal with the people, loving with the people. That's why I don't want no big flashy motor car. I don't want nobody in my party go with flashy clothes. I dress simple and I drive in a simple little car because we must walk with the people. The day we think we're bigger than the people, we have no business to lead. He must inspire by example. And above all, he must have integrity. 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 Only honesty can lead the people. Let us build together. And I call upon you now, in the name of the Father, in the name of God, in the name of Allah, in the name of Jehovah, in the name of Jah. Amen, amen, amen.
I like to hear your comments. Let's take out the socialism bit. Just take out that word out of it. Just take that word out there. I didn't want to doctorate anything. But if you listen to the words very powerfully, and it is something which I believe in a way is lacking. Leadership, which is very crucial and very powerful at the same time. You know, somebody just said, he that exalts himself will be humble, and he that humbles himself will be exalted. Some wise words. I believe that we have to, I need to take a drink, you know, and 10 more to you guys drinking. Yeah, cheers. I believe that we have to, I sound like Michael Mann, you know, we have to. I remember years ago, there's a thing which was saying, we have to feed the people fundamentally. I'm being like Jamie Foxx now. Let's pray for Jamie Foxx that he's well. Jamie Foxx, Michael Mann, and Jamie Foxx will imitate Trump, but I'm going to imitate Michael Manley, and I can imitate even Siaga as well. I'm going to imitate Michael Manley, and Michael Manley will say, for the first time at last, For the second time at last, we feed them fundamentally. And he would say things like, they lie on Monday, they lie on Tuesday, they lie on Wednesday, they lie on Thursday, they lie on Friday, they lie on Saturday. God help them to lie on a Sunday. And then Siaga would say, and money shall jingle in your pocket. I never forget that point when Siaga said, money shall jingle in your pocket. And a man said, you know what, no jingling in my pocket, a paper money me want, you know. But the funny thing about even politics in Jamaica, as we'll say, I'm going on a different way in a sense, is that most of these guys are bona fide, they're brethren, they're friends, they they are godfathers and godmothers of different person, you know, and they support each other. They're but sometimes we get so sometimes caught up with the color dynamics, and we sometimes miss the point of actually engaging with the people. And the only reason why I'm doing this is not because I want to drink, or not because I'm trying to get likes or dislikes or whatever like that. Somebody said to me when I was posting things, and they said, "Get a real job, get a real job." You know, my job is a very private and confidential job. I do childcare law. I never discuss anything about my particular case or the work that I do. But I love this when it comes on to engaging people and to help people and to motivate and to build. You know, that's a passion, and the passion so much for people. You know, we have to. You know, when I was looking at some of the images which was out there, and I've seen the people were demonstrating. You know, people are saying back to the negotiation table, the people sovereign. Time for change is now. Get up, Jamaica. You know, nurses, police, teachers need compensation, restructuring. We need fairness. The people are actually speaking. And in one of my videos, I actually broke down to say, actually, every single politician should be changed. The name should be changed and called servants. Servants. And it must be very clear that they understand. And anyone who goes into politics, you are a servant of the people. And the people must be deemed and must be classified and must be known, and you must be knowledgeable of this. Knowledgeable of the fact that you are the employers and they are the employees. And therefore, there is never a time where it is switched and they become the master and you become the slave or the servants or so like that. It should always remain in that position. And that is why I'm an advocate for a fundamental revamping of the Constitution, an advocate of an effective, you know, reform when it comes on to what type of leader that we're going to have, in the sense of after we leave the King of England, King Charles. You know what I'm trying to say? You know, someone says, "Oh, Michelle, hey, balance and wellness, Sibon, welcome to be on the live." Um, somebody say, Massa Mark, color dynamic. What color dynamic? Certainly not in JA. You know, um, well, I mean, I understand that star, but and I say go, I say go. You know, so there's this very key, very key inkling that people, and this is not just about Jamaica, this is about people needing to understand that every prime minister, every politician, whatever, they are actually your servants. In the UK, we've got a process where we can recall. You can recall politicians, recall leaders, if you believe that they fall out. Yeah. And that is something that need to be adhered to. That is something that need to be addressed to as well. But anyway, the main thing of the week and the main thing of today is going to be the, the government salary hikes, and a lot of people have been talking about it. people in the UK, people in Jamaica, um, and I think the one of the best image that I believe sort of said it in a way very clearly, um, and is this one: politicians get 200% pay rise with who we raised there. You know, somebody said don't belittle the rise because it's actually more than 200% pay rise. Um, my monologue in regards to that, until anybody comes on, is that I believe it is very important that those who work and they're in a position of leadership or anything, that they should be compensated properly. You know, if you're a lawyer, you're a doctor, you're a street sweeper, you should be compensated properly, right? Nobody disputes that. It is very important that people are compensated. It is. I understand that the political leadership weren't compensated properly, and that is something which needed to be addressed. But what I sense and what I'm echoing and what I'm hearing from people is that they're unhappy with the massive uh, amount up to 300% which has been done. And why? Because the government in the level of negotiations with different things like with the nurses, I believe with the teachers or whatever different factions, they are being told to sort of hold restraint, because if they they need to hold restraint because of the fact that money low and all different reasons. And then all of a sudden, what you have a situation whereby the powers that be actually gave themselves, yeah, gave themselves or paid themselves excess amount or such amount. And I've always said to myself, and I'll discuss that with Jeanette tomorrow. Uh, isn't there some sort of body that makes such recommendation? And even if such recommendation is made, such recommendation, is it like it is always going to be there, or is it going to be that, or can it be turnaround, or can you what should I say, um, you know, reject it, if anything? And so that is one of the things which I believe that persons are really genuinely upset with. And what I don't know and what I can't see, and I'm trying to hear some sort of justification, uh justification for it, if anything, and what sort of justification can be, or should there be a rolling back 100%, or should there be different MPs that say, right, I tell you what, I'll take it and I'll give back 80% or 20% or whatever, like that. Maybe so. Same guy in Toronto. Biden's salary for his position, regarded as one of the most stressful, grueling, demanding, and impactful in Midway, is 400K USD. Let's use it as a baseline. Same guy in Toronto. When you say use it as a baseline, you got to break it down. What is the baseline? How do you break that down? With America, which is over 300 and something million people, or so, Jamaica, which um, 2.83 million people, and as well, Jamaica GDP is, I think they said, the lowest in the second within this particular hemisphere. How can that be justified? You know. Good afternoon, Lester. How are you doing?
Good evening,
Yeah.
Silver, and good evening to your viewers.
Yes.
Special greetings to my beautiful wife in the comment section, Vita Gill.
Okay. Big up, Peter. Queen. She needs to say. She's okay. Good. 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 Not baseline reference point. Sorry. Okay. Okay. What's your take on this whole uh increase, which has been imposed or appointed on? I shouldn't say given. Well, let's take it in it. Let them take it. Let them take it.
Them who, Silver?
The politicians, the prime minister and the politicians, they have imposed it upon themselves via Nigel Clark. Unless there's another thing based on, I don't know. Maybe you have something else. You can
All
tell me.
right. Because I've been listening for a while, and um, I have heard some of your concerns and some of your statements,
Yeah.
and I am
I'm seeing that you're genuinely asking questions, genuinely want to know, you know, well, go on, we really go down. What's the process? What is the procedure? Um, I asked some very good queries, good
Yeah.
questions. First of all, people are emotional and people are very individualistic based on their view of this recent increase.
Yeah.
And we're individuals, and it's no strange thing that they are behaving emotional.
Oh, you mean people?
Yeah, people. It's no the public of
So,
Jamaica
so,
and
so,
even the
Jamaica, so,
diaspora.
so Jamaicans are being emotional. I'm just asking you. Yeah. They're being
Yeah,
emotional on this.
they're being emotional regarding the increase, and it is because they don't understand, and it is understandable why they're being emotional about it. You
But the
know.
prime minister sound emotional as well. Everybody seems emotional. He was a bit angry defending it. So he's
Um,
emotional as well, isn't it?
because you're telling somebody that the money, the salary that they are due, they should not be getting the salary that they're due. And a point of keen
Yeah.
importance to stress is that
Yeah.
the last time parliamentarians or senior parliamentarians got any type of pay adjustment was 2006. So the politicians, not the prime minister, because he hasn't been in power since 2006,
Mm.
but the parliamentarians have had the same pay since 2006, and that is 17 years. So how many of us who are complaining have gotten pay adjustment from the same set of politicians who have increased their salaries, and the politicians have not adjusted their own? Now,
Can yeah.
no, hold on.
Yeah, yeah, man, I
Last
listen.
before we make it come in, because I have a lot to say on this. Believe me, I have my papers then. Um, the the key thing what we have to know, this isn't new. PJ Patterson wanted to initiate the same thing, same percentage structure also, right? But at the time, the economy, it wasn't right at the time. The economy couldn't manage it at the time, and the timing wasn't right either, right? Because your economy has to be performing at a particular level to accommodate certain things. So, like the teachers at the time under Mr. Patterson would get maybe 2 or 3% adjustment, and then
Mm.
they would take 100%, 150 or 200% adjustment. You know,
Mm.
um, so it was a touch and go situation. So they decided not to do it. Then
Yeah.
came Mrs. Portia Simpson Miller. It was this similar situation, right? The country was going through a recession. Remember when the America crashed and all of that, so they
Mm.
couldn't afford to adjust it. Plus, the IMF was here, and the IMF was like, no way. And the IMF, you wanted to cut the police force, cut the teaching staff, cut the public sector in half. So that couldn't be done. Bruce Golding was the first one to really speak about the public sector wage reform and bring people to scale, including parliamentarians and stuff like that, and retroactive money.
Mm.
You know what happened to the fate of Bruce Golding in the long run. So Andrew Michael Holness took the bold step after bring the economy into a particular light
Yeah.
with a little wiggle room where this can be afforded to be paid out, and adjust the parliamentarian salary where it should have been from the 90s.
Yeah. I still don't understand what you're saying. Still, what are you trying to say?
No,
Are you trying to justify it? I'm just asking if you're trying to justify it.
I'm not justifying anything. I am explaining to you that this
Yeah.
isn't even a new initiative or something
Yeah.
new or something that they just get up and just
All right.
do. It
Let
is
me go
something that
back.
should have been
Let,
done.
let, let me go back to two things. One thing. One, back to the emotional thing. Let's go back to that emotional. I don't want it to go away. Are you saying Jamaicans are too emotional about the whole thing and they're not abreast of the rational and the reason, and they're too hype?
They don't understand. And yes,
Mhm.
answer is yes. You know
Okay.
me. You know me. Talk, you
No,
know
no,
me
no,
talk.
no, no. I want to get it on record. So you're saying Jamaicans are too
And,
no,
and
no.
I spoke to Nestor today, and I said, listen, the JLP administration have a poor poor communication,
Yes.
right? Because if they have done this, if they had done this in a different manner and sensitize the public over a period of time, right? The outrage or the surprise wouldn't even be like this, you know.
Yeah.
Um, be- because what they did is by law is not even um something that they just plug out of the air and say I get a percentage figure out of the air and blam. No, they did what the constitution said that they had to get paid by.
So the Constitution is what is giving them the right to pay themselves that much. I'm just asking you.
Okay, Silburn, when you use the word pay
No,
themselves,
no, it's paying Lester. Who is it paying? Paying
no,
who?
no, but Silburn,
Yeah.
but that is not the full truth, because it is not paying themselves, because this adjustment, right,
Mm.
don't affect only parliamentarians.
Yeah.
It is just that the parliamentarians,
Get
based
more of
on
it.
the level salary that they already
Mm.
had, right, the adjustment would be greater,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But when you look at the same adjustment, when you look at the nurses, nurses were getting $3.2 million annually, right? The
Right.
same adjustment that the parliamentarians have trickled down to the nurses. They are now getting $8.5 million. So it's not just a parliamentary. When you say, oh, they give themselves, the nurses and doctors and senior policemen and other senior members of the civil service, they get a massive adjustment also.
Yeah. You know what? I'm smiling. I'm smiling because what I'm picking up and what I'm sensing is that it is striking me so much like it is not the PNP versus the JLP. It is like the politicians or the MPs are against the people of Jamaica to a certain extent, based on what I'm picking up at the same time from um the minor demonstration, from the outrage, from different organizations who are talking about this whole thing. Because I think, Lester, I don't think anybody is actually saying that people do not deserve a raise. I don't think Jamaicans, everybody I've been talking to, they're not saying that they don't deserve a raise. They're saying at this time, they are talking about the way at the same time they're saying for nurses and other persons to hold restraint. But it's like it doesn't apply to them at all. So therefore, they go for the full shama. They go for the full thing, 200 and up to 300% increase. That is the issue, Lester. And I don't know how anyone can justify that.
Okay,
No matter, yeah,
no
yeah.
politician got 300% increase.
I said up to 300%.
Yeah, but no politician got 300%
Yeah,
increase.
yeah.
But let me say this: you cannot say this percentage is too much when it is stated in law, right?
Which law,
The,
Lester? Which law? Show me the law. Which law is it? Which law is it?
the Constitution. I can send
Wait,
you the
wait,
link.
wait, let's show me the Constitution. When the Constitution says that the Prime Minister and those guys should get excess amount of money.
Silver, I can send the link. I can send
Send
it
it.
to you.
We can do it now. I can look for it as well, and I can pull it up.
Silver, the
Yeah.
focal point is the permanent secretary, right? So the permanent secretary's salary. So everything that revolves around the permanent secretary's salary. So the prime minister has to get 33.3% higher than the permanent secretary, and then the deputy prime minister have to get 25.5% higher than the permanent secretary, and it trickles down. If we're going to ask for a reduction, you know what's going to happen? The reduction is going to trickle down all the way also. So people like nurses and teachers and doctors are going to get a reduction also. Because
Lester,
that's how it works.
Lester, me here we are sister, but add up and in a
No,
sense.
I'm not
But
defending.
no,
No,
me here we are sister. No, I hear what you say. No,
no,
I know you see. I know you see you're not defending them, but I hear what you said. I'm saying it don't make sense. That's all. I hear what you're saying, but it just don't make sense. Because as far as I'm concerned, and what I'm picking up as well is that they are totally out of touch with the people. And somebody, they're totally out of touch with the people. And even the quote which I was taught, even the justification wasn't about the law. The justification was we need to pay us more so we can perform more better. That was the justification coming. The Prime Minister said it, Lester. I don't have the plate. That was his justification.
I heard it.
So therefore, the point I'm trying to say is this. If that is the case, if the Prime Minister and the MPs are saying you give us, you have what you got because of the pay, structure, and therefore you need to pay us more so we can perform better. And for some persons to say now we have to hold them accountable, that means pay the teachers them more, pay the nurses them more, pay the police them more, pay everybody more so they can also perform better. And then Jamaica will be a fundamental and great place.
But Silver, isn't that what happened?
Well,
Didn't the teachers
so
didn't the
why
teachers get a
so why are
hold
people
on.
demonstrating it?
No, but Silver, let us be honest, Silver.
Yeah.
Veronica said these guys are labor, right? Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. But I'm also a Jamaican.
Mm.
Anyway, um, Silver, the teachers, nurses, the public sector, right, got increases, right? You know the funny thing about the people are very sensitive over teachers.
See, This,
The
this is this is this is this is the issue I'm having with Leicester. The people, it's like there's this. The people are emotional. The people don't understand, and then the way you say also, yes, you are labor right, yes, you're a DRP. It's like you're speaking on behalf of the government, even though you're going to say maybe not. But it strikes me as that there is still a distinction. It's that the people have no sense.
no, and
That's
I
how
would
it's
never
coming
say
through,
that.
you know. No, I'm not. I know you're not saying that, but that is how it is coming across.
But majority of persons, I'm not a
Mm.
ghetto people or
Yeah.
poor people. Jamaicans on a whole do not understand the Jamaican constitution and they do not understand governance. There are
Yeah.
certain things that they just do not know because it wasn't in their way to know it. Right?
Mm.
Now,
Mm.
what I'm saying is that when they say pay teachers more, right? The teachers got more. The
How much?
soldiers got more.
How much more they got?
Right?
Let's. How much more they got?
Let me tell you this first. Let me tell you the percentage.
Mm.
When Nigel first went to the teachers with a offer, right? He offered to bring all the teachers up to scale to like an equal platform because based on years of experience or qualifications, teachers get different pay scale.
Yeah.
He said, let's bring up everybody. The JTA and the senior teachers said, how we are teaching for 40 years, 30 years, we're getting say $5 a month. And the new teachers, this new young girl coming in, and this new young boy coming in is going to get the same as us. What kind of work they
Yeah.
have done, right? And he said, but we want to put everybody on a level playing field, and then we'll put a percentage increase on top of that. The
Mm.
JTA rejected that, right?
Yeah.
And because they wanted the senior teachers have a certain pay, the new teachers
Yeah.
have a specific pay. And so the negotiation start breakdown. When they came back to the
Mm.
table now, right? The negotiation started at a lower percentage.
Yeah.
And they eventually accepted a lower percentage than what was initially offered, right? But the teachers got about 20 to 25% increase.
Lester, keep talking. That callers came in. Keep talking, Lester, please.
Oh, yeah. So they got about 20 to 25% increase. But the thing is, each union, right, is responsible for the negotiation of their specific industry. So
Yeah.
if the
Yeah.
union and the union representative and that industry fail to get the best for their industry, you
Yeah.
can't blame the administration for that.
Yeah. One of the things I was thinking about, and I really is, do you think that the way how things are handled should be like how it is now, in the sense that it should be taken out of the hands of the government to make these decisions? It should be a body or some oversight body that decide these things, or it should be left in the hands of the government. Because what is very interesting. Um,
Which thing specifically? Which thing specifically?
I'm talking about like even the salary scale which was appointed down for the.
Again, you make a statement like that because you
Yeah.
don't know, right? I mean,
Yeah.
of course, you just
No,
don't
no,
know.
no, no. That's why I asked. That's why I asked. That's why I asked. Yeah.
A joint select committee of PMP
Mm.
senators, JLP senators, and persons come together, and this discussion was going on since 2020, and they decided on what is to be done. And when this was to happen since 2020, but because of the
Mm.
pandemic, they push it back. This
Mm.
same announcement was to happen in 2020.
Yeah. You know what is very interesting, and you know do you think that politicians, and I ask this for people as well, all over, do you think that politicians should be going into politics, or person going to politics to to get a certain amount to be paid handsomely, or they should go in for service? It's a catch-22 situation, because I know at the same time you need to be paid properly to give up certain things. You know what I'm saying? Because even in the UK, for argument's sake, they allow doctors and lawyers or so to still keep their license, and in order for them to keep their license, they have to perform certain work. Why? Because you can vote out the next year, or vote out the next five years. So therefore, they pay them. I'm going to look for the figures for the MPs for the UK as well, and the Prime Minister. They pay them a certain level. So, but at the same time, they have to be able to keep that sort of second job in a way, to keep themselves, tie themselves over. Do you think people should be so handsomely or over handsomely rewarded at the same time, or they should do it for service for
Um,
the country?
you know why and again, and
Mm,
I want to keep saying this throughout the length of the show.
yeah,
A lot of persons really don't know and don't understand
yeah,
what a lot of politicians, as a persons who enter into representation of politics, what they give up, right?
yeah,
I'm going to give you an example from your parish, Senton,
yeah.
right? Councillor Kim Brown Lawrence, right? She had
Brownstown, yeah, Brownstown,
Brownstone, the
Brownstown,
council for
yeah,
Brownstone.
yeah.
She had a strip club, right?
Mm,
And before she won, she was earning a significant, like about $2 million a week, right? And because of politics and how it looked, a council have a strip club, she closed it down and rented out the building. So even though she rent out the building, she's still earning from the building as the property as a rental. It's not
yeah.
nowhere near where she used to, what she used to get.
Mm,
Now her earnings significantly fall. As a counselor, she was getting 120,000 Jamaican dollars per month,
yes.
right? Her lifestyle changed dramatically. Persons come to her, and this is one example. Persons come to her when constituents die, so she have to help with funeral expenses, right?
Yes.
Because the constituency development fund can't help everybody who die in the constituency, right? So if it's $1 million for funeral, right, that money have to split up, and when the money finish, it finish,
Mm,
right? So a lot of politicians have to go into them personal business and in personal
mm,
pocket to help a lot of residents. That's the nature of politics,
yeah.
right? It shouldn't be like that. So imagine if this person is getting $120,000 or $300,000, $400,000, and they have to be helping people with them personal bills.
Call coming in. Yeah.
Yes, some
Go on.
idiot.
Mm,
Personal issues, Nestor Morgan was on TikTok live this morning, and he was saying many times he's at home in Kingston. Persons from
mm,
his Clarendon constituency are in a particular dire situation at 2 o'clock in the morning. He has to leave and drive all the way to Clarendon and help persons. And a lot of times this is financial, and this doesn't come out of the CDF. It comes out of his personal affairs. But the people of Jamaica a lot of times don't know, or they don't take these things in consideration. They think, oh, politicians have money, politicians are thief, politicians. They often drive themselves broke doing this, right? And I have been in Jamaica and I've seen it personally with several politicians where they have to share monies from their businesses and share
mm.
money from their personal income. So this salary that they're getting,
Yeah.
it will definitely go right back to the people.
It's interesting what you say right there, and I know we imitate the UK, we imitate the Westminster system, um, but Leicester, I don't see MPs over here forking out money to give to people. It operates through a system which they have, and I believe when it is done like that, of course, that is something that needs to be overall. Of course, when the revamping of the constitution, and if we go for a republic, if we get a republic, if anything, based on how things are going on, I don't know what's going to happen, but I think even when Mark Golin says, I'm going to take the money and give back 80%. some people are saying, hang on a second, so where does that 80% go to? Or other people may say, I want to actually keep the money and give it to something else. And somebody say, hang on, where is it going to go? There's an accountability for it to a certain extent. And I believe that when you have MPs, this is just my personal take, when you have MPs um, overseeing road constructions and all those sort of things, those should be the parish council. It shouldn't be an MP. This is just a side thing I'm saying. You know, it should be the parish council and all those sort of things. But again, Jamaica don't have any local government elections, so all those, someone many of those councils might even be ineffective, because I don't know why. Do you know why they're not having any local government election? Isn't that against the constitution? You said the constitution is being followed for the sake of the money. Why is the constitution not being followed properly for the sake of the local government elections?
You asked a lot of things, but let me answer that one.
And I'll be resting around, yeah.
No, it's okay. The prime minister is the only person that has the power to call election. He also has the power to not call an election, right? So the local government election was just not in the purview. And I answered this on the show already.
I know you said it, but I'm just bringing.
And it is not in the purview, in the best interest of the Jamaica Labour Party right now, to call a local government election.
And ladies and gentlemen, why should it be to have an election in the interest of a party instead of in the interest of a nation? I just want to drop that in, Lester.
And I also agree with you. I said we should have fixed election dates. You know, that would give politicians and listen. I have no qualms, you know, with me already. You know, represent my party, but it will give both parties or all politicians, you know, that you have a specific deadline, so you would work toward make sure that you have a good tenure for the next 4 or 5 years, right? So that when election time come around now, right, you know, you're in good standing with the people because you have done the work and you have served the people, you know. But it's a power play, and I understand it. I don't agree with it, but I understand it's a power play. So it wasn't in the best interest of the Jamaica Labour Party at the time to call a local government election. Simple.
Yeah.
Right. Well, so let me answer the other things where you asked.
Yeah.
Now the King's opposition leader, Honorable Mark Golding.
I like how you said the king. That's why the king opposition leader.
It was kind of disingenuous statement from him, unfortunate statement from him. You know, and I like Mark. You know, I like Mark, but that really unfortunate statement. Politicians have been getting this increase since 2022. So how now you gonna start get back? It's not a new.
Hang on. Sorry, they've been getting this particular increase, which has been mentioned since 2022.
April 2022.
Well, hold on. I thought it was going to be effective as of April 2023. Am I reading something wrong, Lester?
Silburn, I'll send you the graph, Silburn. I'll send you all these graphs.
I thought the announcement which was made for the 200. I know some of it is going to go into 2024, but I didn't know that. I didn't know what.
So each year it goes up because next year, bro. Next year, everybody's getting an increase. Yeah,
I know that, Lester. But what I'm trying to say is that the actual money, even if it was from 2022, have they started to receive that yet, or is it going to be effective as of this April? Sorry, May. I'm trying to understand.
April. Yes.
So when did the money start actually going to the account?
From my knowledge, from last year.
Oh. This is, ladies and gentlemen, did you know this? So what we are hearing, what you're saying to me now, and somebody need to help me out here. So the increase that we're talking about up to 230 or so, that has already been happening from 2022, but it is just now come to light.
Yes.
So this has happened and people never know. Said, Lester, are you sure about this, Lester? Because what you're actually saying is that they have been getting this whopping increase from April 22, and nobody know that.
I don't like the word whopping increase. They have been getting an increase. But you can use the word that
incremental whopping.
you can use the word that you choose. No, but what I'm saying is that
Yeah.
Mark giving back 80%, right?
Yeah.
It's like Bruce Golden foolish talk about say him or give fee pay. It makes no sense. It's semantics because it doesn't
Mm.
do anything. Who is going to give up the pay to? It doesn't do anything. Nobody else on the PMP side said that they're going to give up their salary or they don't
Yeah.
want it. Nobody, right? So I'm saying it's semantics. You have to play them like my play up to the it just weird.
So what you're saying then? According to what Julian Robinson said, that they never had an issue with it, and then when people started to make noise, they change their tune to a certain extent, or they modify it in the sense
Did
of,
they modify it or did Mark say
or
something?
Mark said something, because not
Mark
all of
said
them was in it,
something
just
because
Mark.
Dayton was interviewed on all angles, and he never said that he's going to give
Mm,
up anything or they're going to ask a reduction or anything. He never said that.
yeah. The bit which is really concerning, and unless I'm not going to say that it's a fact, but even though you alluded to it and you say it, but what you're intimating is that the increase which we are just hearing has been has been in effective rather, from 2022 April. So they have been getting the money already. And Mark and what Nigel is doing is just, listen, that don't make sense.
But Silburn. You know what is funny, Silburn?
Yeah.
You see, whenever public sector get an increase, right?
Yeah.
Whenever there's a overall public sector increase, right? Um, okay, if it's something incorrect. So
Yeah.
if a public sector get increase, right?
Yeah.
The governor general salary moves up also, but it's not announced.
For
Many of the ED's salary moved up. It's not announced, right?
yeah.
Many of the heads of department, heads of agency salary move up. It's not announced.
Mm. Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
but for me, I'm saying, why are we making such a big issue over people's salary? Because it doesn't change what we get for our salary.
Lester, you just said something a while ago, and I'm sure people will want to push back at you. You said something really, really powerful, and it is so poignant. What you said a while ago is this: why are Jamaicans making a big fuss out of people's salary?
Politician salary, not
No,
people,
no,
politician salary.
politician.
Yeah.
What we fail to understand or fail to acknowledge, and I'm sure you'll acknowledge, is that these politicians are servants of the people. Am I correct?
Yes, and they leave professional jobs to come and do this job. So
To, to
shouldn't they
serve,
be
to serve, to
yeah,
serve.
but
They came
in
into politics to
service,
serve.
yes, but in that service, are you to live like below certain standards?
Is any of the politicians that have been living below standard that you can acknowledge, that you can confirm?
Yes, a lot of them
Okay.
have not. A lot of them have been, and I'm talking on both sides too.
Okay. All right. And secondly, but I thought that politicians as well also get a lot of allowances for phone call, allowances for
Like what?
don't they get allowances for phone calls? Don't they get allowances for security? Don't they get allowances for housing and all those other? I don't know. You seem to know everything, but based on what I'm understanding, they can claim these. They can claim these things.
Burn.
Yeah.
Ministers get security. Ministers get a driver. Ministers get certain allowances. The backbencher MPs don't get that.
Yeah.
Next thing too, a minister who is living in the rural Jamaica and has to come into Kingston for parliament or whatever work they have to do in Kingston, and they rent an apartment, the minister has to pay part of that rent. The government don't cover the rent cost for them.
Lester, people are saying you're getting paid. Are you getting paid by the government? You know how to answer that. All right, you don't have to answer it. He doesn't want to answer it.
It's a weird. People asking weird questions.
Yeah. No. Let me
explanation, and people don't want explanation. People want to be outraged, and people don't want
no,
explanation.
no. People are hearing, Lester. Some of the things that you are saying. People are also reading just like what the person said a while ago. The person said that Lester, you are incorrect. People also have not Diane Henry said effective April 22, but not yet paid. Lester is incorrect. Retroactive amounts will be paid for first to the 422 to 31st of the 4th, 2023.
So didn't Mark Golden hold on? So didn't Mark Golden know that?
No, I can't speak for Mark Golden, and I'm not going to get into the PNP and JLP thing. What I'm looking at,
no. It's not about PNP and JLP. I'm saying that the politicians knew.
I don't know that, Lester. I think
I knew that.
Lester, the bigger picture is this. Let's move away a bit from. Let me take this a bit higher. Let's move a bit away from the PNP and JLP and what Mark Golden said and what JLP said. The bigger issue is this, and let's not forget this. These are servants of the people, right? This is what I'm getting, and this is what I've been echoing. These are servants of the people, and these servants, therefore, are under, as far as I'm concerned, they are supposed to be employees, but they're operating like they are masters.
You're right. They're employees of the people. They're employees of the state, right? But for me, what I'm saying to you is that we can't have it both ways. We can't ask people to leave their profession, right? And then we are not going to pay them properly. We can't have. That's why politics, especially in Jamaica, don't attract the best minds and the best talent.
All right.
Right?
Mark, how are you? How are you, Mark? Before Mark come in,
I can't complain, man. Life is good.
Life is good. Life is good. Let me just play this one more time, and I just want to play this about the words. The words. Let's just listen to the words. That's the words. Let's listen to the words. Okay, that's the words we're listening to, not the messenger. Let's take our focus on the messenger.
It's for the role of leadership. First of all, the leadership of socialism must walk in humility. Humility must be humble. Must be humble. Must always be humble. There is no place for arrogance in the party that I lead. And anybody that is arrogant over the people must get out of leadership. The only one that is fit to lead is the one that walks hand in hand, shoulder to shoulder, equal with the people, loving with the people. That's why I don't want no big flashy motor car. I don't want nobody in my party go with flashy clothes. I dress simple, and I drive in a simple little car, because we must walk with the people. The day we think we're bigger than the people, we have no business to lead. He must inspire by example, and above all, he must have integrity. Integrity, integrity, integrity. Only honesty can lead the people. Let us build together, and I call upon you now, in the name of the Father, in the name of God, in the name of Allah, in the name of Jehovah, in the name of Jah.
Amen.
Now, I just played that there because I'm one of those persons of the view that if someone is saying sense, let them say sense and forget the colors. All right, Mark, how are you?
Like I said before, I'm great, but the people in Jamaica are not great at this time because they're being continued oppression from the colonial forces are still in full play, full effect.
Yes.
And what my commander said, even though I'm not a PMP, it resonates with me because these people have delusions of grandeur. Especially the ones that in power today. They believe them are Michelle Obama and Barack Obama or something. Them don't understand that they are serving people who are farmer enslaved, who are trying to find a way to make a living. But they're there to oppress us. And they have been taken from our country from they got in. They don't go in there to serve. They go in there to be served. And it's evident that it's a duopoly governance. I mean, what you heard today, what you heard a couple of days ago from the Prime Minister and from the opposition leader, it is very, very clear that it's the colonial forces, a duopoly governance against the Jamaican people. They're out of touch with the Jamaican people. and they must go. And I want to tell you something. I have some news to give you today. I had a meeting with the NDM. I had a meeting with the Marcus Garvey political movement. Up Jamaica, of course, that I represent. And we are forming an opposition against these people. So if the Marcus Garvey is in St. Catherine and we don't have a candidate there, all of us will be showing up to support them. Because at the end of the day, when we looked on our governance structure, for some reason I was amazed that we're almost on the same page. But good ideas are not exclusive to any particular person. But we all have the similar type of republic in mind. We want a president. We don't need no ceremonial president. We need a president voted indirectly by the people. We want a Senate voted indirectly by the people. We want a public prosecutor validated and appointed by the independently elected Senate. I would prefer an open vote by the people, but one of my lawyer friends on the group said, Mark, it's best to have the independent senators who have been voted by the people to validate the public prosecutor. So therefore, there's no collusion with the DPP and government, which is what's happening now. That's why nobody gets prosecuted.
All right, hold on a second. Let's go back to the salary. Corey, concern internet Interstar. How are you? Are you driving? Are you safe? Are you safe driving, Corey?
Yeah, still Burnham.
You okay driving there? All right, we let you. While Corey come back, Lester.
Been through this beautiful place. I'm not sure if you can hear me. Can you hear me?
It is getting distorted.
Well.
It is getting distorted, Corey. So you'll have to just be a watcher or until you get a place. Yeah, it's distorted. All right. When it's stable, you come back. Yeah, Corey.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I'll come back in when I'm still.
Yeah. Lester. The late Michael Manley said, as an individual, the words that if you can't get to the people, nobody get into this thing. Someone said earlier, why do they need to leave their professions? Can the both not coexist? Why do they have? Why can't they?
No. Speaking with a counselor yesterday, and there's a particular counselors who have their day jobs, right? And the parish council allow them to keep their day job. What happens when it is time for important parish council meetings? They're either absent or late. And when there are time for projects to be done and collaboration with projects to be done, a lot of these people who have a regular 9-to-5 job cannot show up for the parish council. They're not even serving. They're elected, but they're not even serving the people properly, right? They can't be a full-time councillor because they don't have their own business and they are not paid enough to leave their day job to focus full-time on the politics part of it. So that is a situation there where the pay scale has to be adjusted. The pay scale coming very important. So it's caused a problem where they might keep them day job and want to serve same time, and them can't serve two masters.
Silver.
Yes, Lester. It's Mark. Yeah.
A council job is a part-time job.
That's what I understand it to be.
What I'm saying is a part-time job. It's not enough. How much potholes you want to fix? How much light out that you want to report? There's no need for councillors. Councillors are a waste of money. The job of an MP is a part-time job. You meet every Wednesday to discuss what? Fortune 500 companies don't have this much meeting going on every Wednesday. This is foolishness. They're doing all of this to justify their salary that is out of step with the Jamaican people. This is all foolishness, brethren. So if the council don't make enough money, tell the council to get a job, get a real job,
Yes.
and stop wasting taxpayers' money.
Lester, I mean, they need to get a job unless they're in the wrong thing. And I mean, actually, many of them may not even be in power now or even doing anything because they have not been able to even have an election for a long time. Of course, that's another issue which you have tried to explain. But as far as I'm concerned, it's a ripoff. Listen, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this in a way. It's not a bit very tricky. But this, in the beryllium thing, they said that the guys them who were attacking them, they looked trained. They looked trained, like they knew exactly what they were doing, and they were targeting. And it seems like what could be happening now is that those that are in power are trained in a crucial way how they can actually siphon off money from the country, from taxpayers. I'm not saying that it is, but they're in that position whereby it is seem like the people are not in charge. The oversight bodies which are there are too many of them, and they're all over the place to a certain extent, which need a coming. There need to be even like a genogram, a chronology, a genogram, I should say, of how these oversight things is. But Mark, I think the best thing is revamping the whole constitution and start the whole thing again. That's just my thinking.
All right, let me respond to you on Mark.
Yeah.
Let me respond to you on Mark, right? Mark has never held a political office, right? So he doesn't know what it takes to be a councillor or an MP, right? When he says that councillor is a part-time, allow me, sir. When he said that councillor is a part-time job and MP is a part-time job, no, it's not. It's a full-time job, right? The work that counts, the majority of the work in a constituency is done by the councillors, right? So the repairing of lights, the repairing of streets and stuff like that, these fall under parish council. So I don't know what Mark is talking about. That's a part-time job. No.
Let's make it easy on you. Let's make it easy on you. Tell me exactly what they do now. Tell me what they do. I'm all ears.
What do you mean what they do now? Me just tell you. The parish council is in charge of garbage collection, water.
So why you just tell me now?
But hold on. We're not arguing. You have answer something on side. The running of the constituency, right? The heavy lifting is done by the parish council, by the councillors. You know that, right?
What's the heavy lifting? Give me some specific.
I'm listing them out. When you look at the fixing of the sidewalk, electricity running, right? Water, healthcare, clinics, the bee bushing, all these things are done by the councillors.
They don't do it, Lester.
You fix sidewalk every day. You fix sidewalk every day, Lester.
No, I'm not saying that. All right, you oversimplify the conversation. I make it sound like say
simple. It's simple, Lester. You're talking foolish. You're talking foolish.
But hold on. Listen carefully. That's why I say you have never served as a councillor before, so you don't know, right?
Brethren, every day I play domino and out in the hangout because there's nothing to do.
I don't know the councillor.
If they have something to do every day, it means they're not efficient and they need to go. There's nothing to do, bro.
No, but that's not true, and that's highly disingenuous of you to say that because there's so much work in the.
Absolutely not. Everyone that's being disingenuous because you have not told me what their job function is. All you talk about
One second. Let's finish, Mark. Let's finish. Yeah.
I'm telling you, and I'm going to say it again for the last time, the fixing of the infrastructure, right? With the exception of the main roads, because the main roads fall under the purview of the MP, right? So everything else in the constituency is mostly done by the parish council, right? So when NWA are central parish council get them own funding now, allocate the money for do whatever it is to be done in the constituency, right? The councillors go there and do it. The thing is, there's so much to be done because Jamaica has been neglected from 1962 or even before that. So there's always something to do. There are persons in Jamaica who are seeing road and light for the first time in a 2023, right? And we have seen so many evidence of that. So there's always something to do. So when they say that they're not doing anything, a whole heap of work they're doing at the constituency by the councillors them. Whole heap.
Lester, the parish councillors are not out there mixing concrete and casting and a mix of concrete and render and rough cast. Them not do that. That is the work of the people that work in the parish council. I'm talking specifically about the parish councillors. They have nothing to do, and you cannot, in good conscience, tell me right now that they have things to do. If you tell me that, then you have absolutely no clue about governance, my brother. I know these guys. I hang out with them. They ain't got nothing to do. Them play domino every day and talk foolishness up on phone. But you don't fix sidewalks every day. You do not fix a light every day. If everything is being destroyed every day, then you have a dysfunctional society, and that does not happen. Once you fix the light, and once the GPS and the GPS problem, all parish councillors can do is report a light outage if a light now one, and that doesn't happen every day. It does not require the amount of money they're being paid. It's a part-time job, if that. If I were in government, I would not even take a salary from parish council because there's nothing to do. I do more work in my homeowners association than they could ever do in parish council. So don't tell me foolishness, bro. I know what I'm talking about. Don't come to me with foolishness with an idea. I know we are talking sip, but don't make me start chat and sip.
All right. Corey, what's up? What can you can hear properly?
I'm good, man. Yeah, man, loud and clear, man. Loud and clear. And sensing all the emotions will fly across the platform as well. Today, Silburn, I observed a few things, and I want to share this with your viewers and your listeners. One, I appreciate your platform. I appreciate the show. And today you're quite honest, very, very honest, and I must commend you on your honesty. That when you speak from a position of ignorance, once you are informed, you concede, and you will definitely, let the public know that you didn't have the information and you have learned the information. Now you're informed, and I appreciate that, Silburn. Long live this platform, right? Because that is what we do need. I listen to Lester. And I'm listening to the fellow on right now.
Mark.
And Sir Mark, right? I don't want the slip to say anything else, Sir Mark. So my thing is this: we are disconnected from the real issues of Jamaica, and right now we're in a silly season. We're in silly season, right? Right across the board, right? And what the people need to hear is something genuine and not sensationalized. Simple as that. And I'm speaking right. It cut me deep to the Silburn, right? Because the topics you have put forward and the way that you water it down to make it partisan, it's really concerning to me. Hence my name, the concerned interneter. No, I am simply saying this. This is what I'm saying. That there's an issue. There's an issue happening in the country right now. And Lester made reference to it that, persons are feeling, like they're emotional about it. But it has been twisted to make it seem as if everybody is emotional and it is a hype and all of those kind of people are concerned about our 100% increase in salary and they don't have it. They don't. But there are facts relating to that increase. And the mere fact that you didn't even know that those salaries have been, start going in their accounts from last year. That was an agreement.
But Corey, somebody said that it's not going in as yet. It is gonna go in with this announcement now in 2022. I don't know. That's okay. That's why my hands are up. You know,
No, no,
I
no.
love
That's
research.
fine. That's
Yeah,
fine, Silburn. But what
yeah,
I'm saying,
yeah,
I'm commending you that if you
yeah,
don't know something, you concede, and then
yeah,
there's a little bit of fact finding.
yeah,
And that is where we should all be. Another thing, we have to also ask the question: are there any sort of what you call allowances
yeah,
in this money to make it what it is or what it assumed to be? You
yeah,
understand me? You have to look at the allowances that anybody get, whether it be teachers, whoever, that make it seems 100%, 200%. And
yeah,
how retroactive is that? How long a group had not been given an increase and all those kind of things. And then, let me tell you this, it come at a time when everybody is on edge. Everybody on edge. Like, why this person get more money than me? No,
yeah,
simple case in point. When you look at probably a CHA, let us use that. A CHA who has been in the work for no. We're not going CHA. Let's go senior teacher because that was what one of the things mentioned on the program. A senior teacher who earns X amount is now challenging a new worker who has gone through the rigor of qualifying themselves, having their degree, whether it be master level or a specialist area that command that sort of salary. But because guess what? You just come, you're not supposed to get it. What are we telling the young people then?
mm,
You understand me? So we have to be very careful of how we sensationalize the thing across any platform at all in this silly season.
yeah,
Because there's nothing wrong with wanting your administration to be the next, well, I won't say administration, your party to form the next administration. There's
yeah.
nothing wrong with that. And that is healthy democracy. Simple as that. But you don't mount it up on things that are not factual and things that when it comes to light now, you have to style it out. No, we can't do that. Because the constitution has been written that you should get, right? The prime minister should get what 33% more than the permanent secretary. It has been written. And then
Mm.
somebody's supposed to get $1 more than that. So you're gonna have the increase that goes upward. So we have to be careful. We have to know what we're talking about and arguing about. Or else we're gonna be seen silly and just at each other's throat.
So therefore, what I'm picking up here is this: that communication to the nation of Jamaica is not doing well. People are not being.
Absolutely, absolutely still burn. That's it. So
Mm,
communication. And Lester mentioned that we need to talk, we need to explain, right? So if I should go in politics tomorrow morning, and I said this to you, Silburn as a brethren, right?
mm,
That I will not go in representational politics. It's translatory politics. Because
mm.
I need to explain to my brothers and sisters what this means. This line in this policy, what it means to you and how it affect or impact you, your picnic them and the next generation. You
You
understand
see,
me?
you see, out of everything, and even with the whole emotional factor, because people will be emotional in all different respects, because we are that type of beings, and especially in Jamaica now, lots of people are reeling on the financial crisis in a sense,
Mm-hmm.
and therefore, as I say, a hungry man is an angry man, to a certain extent, and that is what is happening. I'm going to ask you then, do you think that it is justified for the payment at this time, amidst the justification, amidst the constitution, amidst the 33% more, amidst the $1 more? Do you think it is justified at this time?
All right. Just justified at this time is not for me
Yeah.
to observing the timing of it. I can
Yeah.
understand how aggrieved an next person may feel
Mhm.
facing hardships. Okay. Now it begs the question in responding to what you're saying. If the shoe was on the other foot, right? What would it be? Is it that the opposition would be saying, I'm giving back. I'm not going to accept, they were in power, right? So within
Corey? I think he's frozen a bit a while ago.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Go, Corey. Go, Corey. You're back. You're back, Corey.
Right. Good. So the unsettled wage packages and all those kind of things across all the sectors, they're unsettled and unclear. I believe that there should have been a pause, a delay, so that the information carries before the proposal.
Yeah.
Right? That is my stance on it. Right? It is eminent. Why? Because it promotes good governance and accountability and all these kind of things. No, I say a job description, following in and agreeing with points made on the show earlier, that a job description is given and persons are held accountable to JOB, right? Performance standards, right?
Yeah.
Who's doing the PERs, right?
Yeah.
Those kind of things. No, and Lester, you have posited some facts. I hear what Mark has said as it relates to the man on the street. No, where policy meets the public, you need translation, and the translation comes through communication. So in general response, Silburn, it is a little bit ill-timed because the information needed to go before, because in the highest order of government, the politicians right there and they're under the microscope, right? Especially in a season like this.
Okay, I'm going to ask this question generally across the whole board to everyone. Do you think the government, the opposition, or whatever, should keep it? Should keep the increase in light of the opposition generally, not opposition, well, not I can't say opposition, but opposition generally and the mood within the country. Just like when they had the recent baby seat and they rolled back that policy there because they recognized that it wasn't going well, like it wasn't thought through properly, and they roll it back. Do you guys think, and I'm asking people on Instagram, Facebook as well, and TikTok as well, do you think the government should roll back this increase?
Absolutely.
Mark?
Absolutely. Number one, if you believe in fiscal responsibility, we are not producing anything. Our GPD is way down. Our people are suffering. This is absolutely absurd. At a time like this, actually have a pricing, a wage increase for these people, and with no performance clause. They have not gotten. They have not been performing. Look on the crime situation. Look on our GDP. They don't deserve it, and you cannot justify that it's deserving. Nobody can do that in their right mind. They said this is deserving.
Lester?
Be careful what we wish for, because we might get it. As I said earlier, if you're going to ask for a rollback, the rollback is not just going to be affecting the parliamentarians, right? As I said, everything is centered around the permanent secretary. So once you roll back one, the rollback is going to trickle down all the way down. So persons on the lower end of the scale are going to get a reduction in salary too. So that the nurse who was earning last year 3.2 million, she's now earning 8.5 million, right? She's going to go back to earning 3.2 million. How is that going to sit well?
Well, that is
no, Mark, hold on, Mark, you had your time, Mark, you had your time, Mark, hold on.
You can come back on Mark.
But what I'm saying is that we have to be careful what we ask for. Are you saying that the politicians, because Mark is saying that the politicians don't do no work, they don't deserve it, and it's failing and stuff like that. And all of that is not true. The thing that he's saying is not true. We have a robust opposition. The opposition is keeping the government on their toes, right? When you look at because when you look at the issues that the opposition tackled, they're on the ball with it. They're out in the streets, right? They're getting empathy from the population. When you look at what the ministers and the MPs are doing, for the most part, a lot of some MPs are not working. We're not a problem for that from my side and from the opposition side, right? But when you look at the gamut of the last 6 years of governance, right? The JLP has done a whole lot. whole lot more than what past JLP administrators have done and what other administrators have done, right? More young persons have opportunity now. When you look at the inflation rate is single digit, when you look at unemployment rate is single digit, when you look at the growth in the economy and certain sectors that never been growing before have been growing now, right? You have protection in certain areas. When you look at the PATH program, when you look at housing, NHT was building up to 2016. NHT was only building 1,500 houses per year. Since 2016 till now, it's 11,000 houses that I build every year. So, what you mean government not doing anything? Come on, Mark, man.
No, that's another issue. Let's
Let me say something to you.
yeah, go on, listen. Go on,
Back in
Mark, yeah.
back in the 70s, they used to marry when there was shortage, they would marry like some saltfish with bread. You have to buy the two together.
Yeah.
What the government did in this instance is they gave deserving people raises and rode their coattails to go along with it. They didn't have to do that. There's no law that allows them to do that. So stop trying to be slick, bro. You're not talking to an idiot here. You're talking to big people who are well-rounded, who understand what's going on in life. What they've done is it's slick. They're slick. They married the two together, so one go with the other to make it more palatable. That is such like the 101 of scamming. That's a 101 of scamming, my brother. Come again. Come again. What you have proved to me today is that when you are a tribalist, reasoning goes out the door, and you just say what you want to say because you're a tribalist. I'm not being. It's just a fact. It's a fact. You're not making any sense.
Yeah. Okay, Corey, do you think they should roll it back, as many people are saying they should, in light of what's going on in the country?
No, no. A rollback is to me, and this is my opinion. Right?
Well, they haven't got it yet. They haven't got it yet. Have they got it yet? They haven't got it yet, have they?
Right, because look, I'll say this for those who have already gotten it, right? For asking to pay it back, right? To me is a no. And for those who have not yet gotten it, no, I don't think they should stop that. No, let us look at how many politicians there are versus how many teachers there are, nurses. Okay, let us look. And I am sharing this point because my better half and I, we were talking about a particular point, and she mentioned, look, there is a numbers game. It's a numbers game, gentlemen. You have to understand it's a numbers game. So when 10 persons, argument's sake, I'm picking a number, 10 persons get a 300% increase versus 10,000 that is asking for the same increase under the justification, all right, of good governance, and you're trying to appease the people who have been calling for a reduction in corruption. So having an attractive wage package to reduce corruption, right, and the distraction from doing or performing a particular task, you hand them this. Now they will be held accountable on performance. Now this is how you probably approach the constitution. That look, on a vote of confidence, no confidence, you get them out. 3 strikes, you out. Whatever it is, you hold them accountable because they are getting top money for performance. You understand me? And not and it's not a witch hunt. You're not tar or feather anybody because there will always be opposition to any particular office, but it's just good governance. I don't believe in a rollback and a delay. Just proceed with it, and you hold persons accountable. The numbers are not large, and I believe that there is enough money in the reserve for that sector to be paid well so that they can perform well. Trust me, politicians on both sides of the table, they are overworked and they're dealing with a lot. Right? As Lester say, sometimes them send picnic or school out of them pocket. You understand me? So all of these things.
Yeah. So what you're trying to say then is that there's justification for it to remain and not to be rolled back. That is a 300%. Not
No, no, it's not what I'm trying to say, Silburn. It's what I'm
sorry.
saying.
That's what you're saying. You're
That's what I'm
saying that okay. What you're saying is that it should remain. Um, you see, you also said something. What the prime minister also says as well. I've heard this a few times. In order to perform better, and I'm trying to work out this.
You sure? You sure I said it in that
No,
in
no, no,
that
no, no, no,
context and,
no. Well,
in
well,
verbatim?
well, you can drop it in the. You can correct me, but one of the things that the prime minister have been saying, a lot of persons have been saying to try to justify it, is that now they will be held accountable. Now we can perform. Now, before you got what you want because of what was paid, but now you're able to. We will be able to perform better. Is it
Um,
because is no, no, no? I'm not saying this to you directly. You don't have to respond to this
no man, I
directly.
listen. No man, I listen to you.
Yeah, yeah. Is it performing better in be able to pay for children's food, helping with funeral expense, helping with look at things out of their pocket? Shouldn't there be some sort of shouldn't Jamaica then be thinking about instead of paying the government officers, politicians such money so they can help people? Maybe Jamaica should think about a welfare system. Put all that coffers in so people can actually go and sort of get some money instead of going to the MP and whereby it's sort of curry favoring a bit, isn't it? Mark, I'll put you to
What's
Mark. Sorry, okay, go cool.
hold on before Mark respond
Yeah,
to that.
yeah,
Let me respond to that. You know,
yeah,
coming off the baton
yeah,
change.
yeah.
Silburn, a welfare state. You know, a welfare state is dependent. It's a relative state. You know, persons paying their taxes. You know, and when you look at Jamaica in all its glory, you know the percentage of persons who pay taxes in Jamaica. So you be very careful. It comes back on the individuals who are already taxed and triple taxed to support a welfare system. Be very
Well,
careful on
well,
what
well,
you're saying and asking.
well, I know what I'm saying because the government is finding money so they can help people. So if they can find money to help people by putting in their salaries, they must can create some
No,
sort of no, 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 no. Corey, you can see what I'm
Silver,
saying.
you're being
No,
no,
Corey,
you're being petty on a
no,
point, and you
no,
don't put
no,
words in my mouth.
no,
Don't
no,
ever
Corey,
twist what
Corey,
I'm saying.
Corey,
I'm a
separate.
straightforward guy,
Corey, I'm
very
not taking.
straightforward person.
Corey, forget about your words. I'm the one saying this now. This is nothing to do with you. This is me, Silburn. Based on what I'm hearing and based on what I'm understanding, to justify the 300%, the 200 and whatever percent is to help people with their funeral expense, to help people with their money out of their pocket. Then shouldn't the government, shouldn't a sector for the consequences or whatever like that, they can go to separate and apart from the MP, taking the MP out of the equation and creating a new system there whereby people don't have to go to their MPs for these help. And therefore, we have a proper equilibrium where it doesn't affect their money out of their pocket. MPs in the UK are not taking money out of their pocket to help people because there's a system. You got a I work with a local authority. They go to the local authority. They go to their councillors to get help. What is all that foolishness is going on in Jamaica? If we want to change Jamaica, we have to have the will to change Jamaica. This is me. This is nothing to do with you, Corey. This is just me. That's just me a talk. All right. So don't think it back, Mark.
Now, what you've just discussed a while ago is one of the reasons why there is no clear-cut role or function of the MPs. That is not the job of an MP to hand out money to individuals. That what you're creating is a dependency constituency. The role of an MP is to find business. That's what I would do as an MP. I try to find business to come into my constituency to create jobs for the people that are there. This system that what they're doing is that they're trying to come up with different excuses to see which one sticks, to see which one is more palatable to the Jamaican people. But everywhere they turn, every excuse that they come up with is flawed. It doesn't make any sense. And what I'm saying to you today, right, is that Jamaica is at this point borrowing to survive. We're liquidating our assets to pay our bills. How do you on earth Anybody here that's an accountant? Are you familiar with profit and loss? How do you manage your own payroll in your own home? How do you manage your expenses? Do you buy more fluff for your home when you cannot afford it? Who does that? So if you do not do it in your own personal capacity, why would you do that in government? It doesn't make any sense. Government should not be getting the kind of money they're getting today. And it's not even on parallel with the other ones that are actually productive. The prime ministers of all the countries around us are not making anywhere close to what the prime minister is getting in a dysfunctional country. A lot of Jamaicans are not even going back to Jamaica because of the crime and the ineptness of the system. We need to really, look into ourselves and really do some soul searching. If we're really going to accept this and try to make excuses about something that we know we would not accept in our own life, we would not spend more money than we bring in. So why would you want to do it now? We borrowed $1.5 billion from the IMF a couple months ago. Yeah. And the irony is, it's the same amount of money that's going to be spent with the rates that they're putting today. This is an unjustified ripoff, and every Jamaican understands it, and you can't put wool over eyes anymore. But the good news is, here's the good news about this. I have never, in the last 20 years, seen Jamaicans so involved, because now they're looking up to the fraud that's been put on us for since independence. No, we are now going to be the mothers and fathers of a new constitution and a new republic. We are the new founding mothers and fathers. They believe it or not. And we are going to make it happen. We're not going to sit and make this fraud continue anymore. So Selector with his delusions can say whatever you want to say. In England, I'm chilling. Not if you make a suffer. When I walk on and I wear comfortable pants and I push hand cat and I pick and I try to hustle a living. He has a safety net in England. We don't have it in Jamaica.
One of the things though, what I've seen and
respect every time.
Respect.
Let's start.
Cheers.
Manners and respect, Bridget. Manners and respect.
You will never win a seat. You'll never win a seat. We'll be right here with you. You'll never be right here.
Yeah. We love you, bro.
Yeah. All right, Mark. Yeah. Respect. One of the things which I'm picking up as well, which a lot of people are, and I have to, and I'm doing my research into all these things at the same time, but I believe that if we want a new Jamaica in respect of the republic which we are talking about, and it's very likely and it should be that Jamaica should be the head of their state, not the king, and the constitution to be revamped, I think we have got to look at the role of the members of parliament and the role of councillors and all those sort of things, because we are putting, Andrew is correct, we are putting too much pressure on them in a certain way, and we've got to take away some of that pressure off of them, and that pressure, I believe, should be in creating some sort of way how people can be helped in different constituencies, whereby the MP don't have to be solely responsible. Where I'm having family, Michael Manley, they said died papa. I don't know who else died papa or who else is broke, because they have to be helping their constituency. But the people within the constituency are Jamaicans, and they should be able to go to some sort of central body. I'm not going to say it is a welfare state or so, but something. Corey, go ahead.
Silburn.
Yeah.
When you touch down in Ochi.
Yeah, man, as an Ochi man.
As an Ochi man, I see some persons looking destitute, and you feel the will to help.
Yes.
Do you feel compelled to go in your pocket and give them something? Even if you don't know them story, there's no backstory to it, but you just see, it's look and it look destitute to you. It look like a bad situation. Do you feel compelled to go in your pocket and give them something.
Yes, I do.
And if you don't have it, no, let me finish.
Yeah.
Right, you answered. Good, fine. And if you don't have it in that moment, and you know somebody's story, the backstory, and you say, Rotted, if only I had the money, I would have helped that person. If only I had that money. Now, let us humanize.
No. There's
Let's
something else.
humanize. Don't cut me, Silmer.
All right,
Let's
go on.
humanize
Yeah.
my personal resource. Let's humanize my personal resource. Now, my personal resource has nothing to do with my profession.
Yes.
All right, it's a source, the profession that pays me. But when I give back, whether in church through tithe and offerings or whatever it is, and I help my brother out there, it's the blessings that I have received that I am able to share my much. So from a lot, I can give more.
Yes.
Right? So if I am now judged, to perform, or I'm held accountable because now I am getting more money, right? That's on my professional line. You judge me on my professional line. But what I do with my personal fund, if I choose to send a child, put a child through school and don't announce that, that's my personal business. You understand me?
Yeah.
No, hold on.
Okay.
No, in a general term and a general conversation, hypocrisy should never be the pillar on which certain things stand, Silburn. Right? It should never be that way. Because we all say if we're in a better position, we are in a better position to help others. Each one help one.
Okay.
Right? So hold on, Silburn. I'm gonna land the plane. It's in the air. Right?
Okay, good.
Politicians, they're the front end. Their doors are always knocking across the board. Politicians. Right? From the lowest level to the highest level. Their doors are always knocking, whether it's a genuine case or not. Some cases are so extreme that you have to say, Jano Star, if me in a position would I help? Me know me need to do this. Me have cabinet money for deal with this where it's allocated, but this is a personal thing where I can use my funds to do that. Guess what? You don't see politicians wearing any capes. But when it comes to winning elections or electioneering, one politician will be the worst, and the other one will be the saving grace.
Yeah.
You understand me?
Yeah.
So guess what? Now my plane land, it depends on the runway.
All right. You plane land, correct? Hello?
Yeah, man.
Okay. My thinking is this. If I'm in Ocherius and I'm walking through Ocherius and I see the people looking for money and I want to help them, my thinking is not just about how much resources that I have in my pocket. My thinking would be, how can we create something better for all these persons from a community level so they can, no, you have to hear what I'm saying, so they can benefit. So therefore, the pressure is not put upon individuals, but upon the state to sort of help. Nothing is wrong, because if I go to Ocherius, for argument's sake, and I park up near where Brenton was at one point, and I'm going over to a shop, and a guy come up to me and say, Bossy, let me take care of your car for you. My thinking is this: the car is okay, the car is clean, but in a way I can sort of help him out by just giving him a change, and at the same time he can even help secure my car at the same time. So therefore I'm sort of helping him out. But if I see a general thing which is happening, my thinking would be, how can I make it better for all? Because I'm thinking that the MP should not be the person that everybody's holding out their hand like Massa God to help them, because he's one person with limited resources. So therefore, the state of Ocherius or the constituency of Northeast Centre should formulate something with the Chamber of Commerce, with the different bodies down there, the opposition, to say, we now have this hub in Ocherius. We have this hub that those people who are looking for food, we can create some sort of food bank. I don't know why Lester is laughing, and I think but that's his issue. But I'm looking at it from that level because in the UK right here now, we have food bank to help people who are destitute. We have ways how we can help people, and there's a welfare system which is there. I work with the council. When people want homes and so like that, they can go to the council to try get homes. Now, if that is not happening in Jamaica, maybe we should start thinking of that way. So therefore, it puts less pressure upon an individual MP that maybe he's gonna say to the guy that they're gonna help you all a while. You have to go vote for me. That is what we are trying to get rid of.
Right. So the public-private partnerships do help, right? And there are things in place for that sort of partnership. Now, answer this question, Silver. Posed to you that farming is a solution, but how
I've always believed that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, man. But when you sow a seed today, it not germinate immediately and bear fruit. So an individual who is hungry now but have the ambition, passion to farm must be fed now, encouraged and empowered, upskilled and tooled along the way. Hold on. Now, as a councillor, MP, whatever, who see the value of sowing that seed, extra seed, for that individual to be one of the best farmer, the champion farmer, also have to make sure that the person eat right now. Because you cannot trade for hungry belly, right? Because your fruit of your labor may be a 2-week crop, a 3-week crop, a 3-month crop, a 1-year crop. You know, so what do you do? So the welfare state, as you mentioned, I totally agree with you. There must be something in place to help somebody along the way whilst they are. Guess what?
And I wouldn't even want to call it a welfare state. I'd want to say a buffer in the way. And if you notice the word that I coined when I said if I see the people, I would start to think about a way how to create a system, a structure that can help them all. But I do agree in the intermediate. We people need to help. I got some people on TikTok here, a lot of people actually on TikTok who are saying information is a secret in Jamaica. Silburn, they said like that because the opposition under the Westminster system have no talk. It is not set to share the poor or the needy in Jamaica. They set the system that by not implementing state agencies, it cannot be for all, for those who really want attention. Anyway, on TikTok here, there are lots of people are actually saying things. But guys, it is now 12:02. Let's say you want to say a last word before you go, because I just realized time is going.
I have, when I have conversations like this with you and other persons, I go back to the information minister and other persons and me express certain things to them. Or me sending the link to the show and them.
Is it going to be the same? Is it Apka Fitzenley or is it? I don't know. There's some changes going on. I don't know. Is the information minister? I don't know. What I'm seeing sometime coming out of Jamaica is some petty things. You know, I don't know if there's an information minister. There's some petty issues going on in Jamaica there. I must say.
I don't know anything about that. There's one information minister, and that's the Honorable Robert Nestamal.
Okay, all right. Well, he's a bit very petty, I must say. Listening to House, you can put that on record anyhow. Still, petty things going on there. But anyhow, that's all right.
Yeah,
we need to revamp. Yeah, go on. Yeah.
No, I don't know about that. What I'm saying is that I think the public, and I realize that you have missed the mark in what the Prime Minister and what Dr. Nigel Clark has said regarding this pay issue, right? Yeah. When they say that they can perform better, do their jobs better, right?
Yes.
We get everybody. I realize, Mr. Mark. Sorry, a lot of people, Mr. Mark.
So we don't understand again. So communication is a problem with the government.
No. And they both, the Prime Minister and Dr. Clark, should have gone into details, right, to say, hey, this is what I mean. You understand me? It's with Jamaican people. Me now say Jamaican people stupid than anybody else, you know. But you have to
listen to your break, you know, you think the Jamaican them stupid. But I tell you, because first of all, you earlier came on tonight and say the Jamaican people them emotional. That's what you said. I think you sort of look down on Jamaican people and big time virgin, honestly speaking. I tell you that straight to your face.
All right.
Go on top. Yeah.
So, in terms of the salary, right? When a politician isn't paid well, his mind is also on his family. His mind is also on his responsibilities, right? So in carrying out his day-to-day, he must have a hustle, right? He must do all kind of something to survive. Same in the same hard times where everybody talk about Jamaica people are hard times. He or she faces that same hard time too. Right? Now, when he can dedicate him life and in time and energy, because he knows, look, the finances take care of, right? Yeah, take care of, right? And if anything extra for come out for the extra stuff, right? Him knows that if he go dip in the pocket, right, it now go hurt other things also to take care of, right? So that is what the Prime Minister is alluding to, right? So it's not just for handle more, right? It is to where to take his mind also he can fully focus on the service as what you say, right?
So
and a lot of times MPs, councillors, and political representatives, they spend a lot of time. All right, look at Lisa Hanna, Paulo, and these guys. They spend so much time in their personal business. And we look at them attendance record to Parliament, or even them attendance record into the constituency. It's poor. Because then the all over the world are them in them business really at work because they have to pay attention to them business, right? We want representation because that's what we vote for. But Silburn, you see, you keep comparing over the period of time we're talking the United Kingdom. United Kingdom.
We imitate the United Kingdom. We're following the Westminster system.
Yeah, but imitation is not this thing, right? It's not the real thing. The United Kingdom have a deeper resources of wealth that they can operate from in a whole different standpoint. It's an older democracy and everything, right? Now, when you look at the issues of Jamaica still suffering from infrastructural.
Who's making Jamaica suffer? The politicians, the government?
I'm saying Jamaica has been suffering. I still suffering from infrastructural lackluster, right? So some things that the UK have gotten over. Right, in terms of physical infrastructure and social infrastructure, Jamaica is still dealing with these things. Jamaica is still yet to deal with these things. Right now, the welfare system. There's a welfare system in Jamaica. There's a PAD program, and a lot of people and children are on PAD program. But guess what? It's a lot of people who should be on PAD program cannot get on PAD program. You know why? I take for example, if my mother was to apply for PAD program, she can't get on it, right? Yeah. But because that me take care of her. Right, and when PAD program, the agent come to her house, and them say she have 60-inch TV, right? Them say she have one latest high-tech fridge and stove and washing machine. The mere fact she has these things, right? Eliminate her from being on the PAD program, and I me buy them something there. It's not she buy them something there. So you have a lot of people who should be on the welfare program, but they put these things in place to eliminate persons who are scam the system, but it also buffer a lot of people who should be on the system. You understand me? So it's like these things are not in place. These things are in place, but what we need to do is refine how we accept people onto these systems, right? And
I'm only doing it because I need to go. It's after 12.
I'm not disrespecting or looking down on Jamaican people. I'm a Jamaican, right? I have children I have family in Jamaica. What I understand is that more and more Jamaican people do not understand the system of government that we have. And you know why? Because politicians over the years, both JP and PNP, have not explained it to them. Them come and say, we want the light, we want the water, just vote for me. And that's all. So when modern times come now, where people are having interest and discussion, and so we have done things in Jamaica for the last 62 years in one particular way. Now we are trying to change it to say, hey, we have a different level of discussion. And we realize that some things have been in place for the last 60, 70 years that we never know about. Yeah. And so when we want to do certain, we say, no man, this already in place.
Listen, I've got to rush now. But thank you so much for coming on. Somebody just said UK has a much higher cost of living. I think the UK Prime Minister need to ask for 800k in line up with Jamaican, and Biden should ask for a cool $1 million US dollars in order for things to be at the same level there. Corey.
Enough respect, man. Enough respect. And all right.
We have to follow this up more with other different issues as well.
What color is this? What color is this?
That's the color.
All right, hold on. And what color is this?
Okay.
I can't see the one.
Can't see the one. He saw the other one, but he couldn't see the other one.
Hold on. Oh.
Him couldn't. Him still not see
Corey,
it.
you still not see Corey.
Him not gonna see Corey.
You still not see it.
Beautiful cup.
Again,
So whatever cup you guys drink from or sip from, just make sure it's a Jamaican cup. You understand? All right, enough respect. Good conversation.
take
All
care.
right,
Take
yeah.
care, sir.
Lovely. And thanks again,
Yeah.
Gilbert.
Yeah, man.
And
No
thanks
problem.
for the views and all the comments. And people, when in the comments after certain things, me not upset.
Yeah.
Free will, free speech, you know.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
critique. And I welcome the feedback, you know, and
Yeah,
keep
yeah.
commenting, keep watching.
And it is there for it is there for record as well, so people can go back and look at it.
Of course,
All right.
of course.
Respect, Lester. Thank you.
Yeah.
Cheers. Bye bye. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for joining tonight, and thank you for those on Instagram as well. For those on TikTok, which is very exciting, I must say. This new bit there, and a lot of the comments which has been made tonight. It is very obvious to me. I'm a passionate person, you know, and I'm emotional, and I think nothing is wrong with being emotional. And I'm glad that Jamaicans are also emotional and they are really charged. I think if it wasn't for that emotion and that passion, we would maybe still be in slavery. If it wasn't for that emotion and passion, when Jamaicans came over into the UK and they stood their ground, lots of people wanted to be like Jamaicans, because when you come near Jamaicans, they will beat up your backside. You know what I'm trying to say? We're passionate and we're firebrand people. And even with the Windrush thing, which is going on here, you have Jamaicans out there, you know, fighting against government. You got Dan Abbott and all those other people. We are passionate people, full of energy, full of emotions, and I want to encourage Jamaicans as much as possible to be emotional. I want to encourage Jamaicans to be passionate, and of course, let us see if we can get information, because I'm also trying to get as much information as possible. I thank Lester for his angle of getting some information. I thank Corey for that angle. Thank Mark for that angle to get some key information as well. We all need that information, and then what we want to do somehow as possible is to get our fellow Jamaicans to understand and to work with them, to come alongside our Jamaican people and to educate them and to be patient at the same time. I believe that's one of the most important things. I believe that the salaries should be rolled back. I believe that our in a less more incremental stage. I believe that politicians who actually may be saying that it should be going back to, or put it to some charity or some other thing, I think they should just reject it, if anything, to take a stand. And also I believe that when politicians go into office, you know, it is not to enrich themselves, and therefore there need to be a structure, which I really believe that politicians, MPs, should not have to be taken out of their pocket. Now, nothing is wrong to take out your pocket and give to somebody. But as I said earlier, if I'm in Ocherius and I'm walking through Ocherius and people are begging, then I'm not going to say about, let me see how I can get richer to give them all handout. I'm thinking about how I can give them a net so they can fish. I'm thinking about how can let's use the Jamaican, the angle that Corey said. I'll think about Ocherius to find a way how they can create a hub, some food bank, some welfare thing that people can come and they can get food, or so something to tie them over, but at the same time to build upon them something else. So therefore I thank you for all the comments, and thank you so much, Stacey, and thank you for all the persons. And remember, tomorrow night is going to be very interesting, because I'm going to be having Miss Jeanette Calder, who is going to talk about how do we have advocacy, you know, how do we get involved, and some of these questions may come back again. Advocacy for a better public governance. Advocacy for public governance. You can play your part in Jamaica. How can you? Tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Yes, I'm going to do a second show tomorrow night at 9 p.m. 9 p.m. UK time. That's going to be 3 p.m. Jamaica time. 9 p.m. UK time, 3 p.m. Jamaica time. Miss Jenna Calder from JAMP. So I want to thank you so much for coming on tonight, and also look out for the show with Mr. That's going to be a good show. Actually, it's going to be a very interesting show. The show with Mr. Joseph Patterson when we were on Westminster. I'm going to see if I can show that video. I have Mr. Joseph there. Where is it? Maker in the UK, and we're going to have a quick chat before Mr. Patterson takes a plane and go back to Jamaica. Joseph, how are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
Awesome, good.
Good.
I think the best place to be is with the backdrop of Westminster. College Green is where breaking news happen. What's the breaking news you're going to say to Jamaicans? Okay, well, that breaking news you'll hear when I come out with that interview as well. So I believe very much to speak to everyone and engage with everyone and to hear what they have to say so we can be more educated. And from the diaspora where I am in the UK, we do play a part in Jamaica, as sometimes people like to say. I get it all a while. Shut up your chat too much, their yard, business about Jamaica. No, I do very much have a vested interest, and every single person in the diaspora never feel belittled or anything, but have a vested interest in Jamaica, the land of your birth. Because if they kick you out of England, they kick you out of the USA, they kick you out of other places, you can go back to your yard, and I can go back straight to Ocherius. My wife is also from Ocherius, and I can take my children, because I was call them Ocherius people as well, and go back. And that's the reason why I made up my mind, and I said when I came here, I'm not going to marry someone from the UK. I'll stick to someone from Jamaica. And I went back home and married someone straight from Ocherius as well. So therefore, there's no issue about me going back to Jamaica. Walk and talk. Sorry, I was going to say walk and talk, motivational moment. So have a good night, and God bless you, and peace out. And it was a pleasure serving you tonight. Okay, bye-bye. Thanks. Okay, boom.